Have you ever wondered what makes a Hollywood legend starstruck? What moment could possibly leave an Oscar-winning icon like Tom Hanks genuinely breathless and scrambling for words? We're about to dive into one of the most human moments in Hollywood history, a time when Tom Hanks, the man who taught us that life is like a box of chocolates, found himself completely awestruck by none other than baseball royalty. Before we get to that unforgettable restaurant encounter, let's talk about the man himself. Tom Hanks isn't just an actor, he's practically America's grandfather, with a career spanning over 4 decades and films that have earned a staggering $4.3 billion at the box office. This is the man who made us believe in magic with Big, broke our hearts in Philadelphia, inspired us in Forrest Gump, and brought toys to life in Toy Story. He's collected typewriters, reunited lost items with their owners via Twitter, and even has an asteroid named after him. But here's what makes this story so fascinating. Despite rubbing shoulders with celebrities his entire career, working with directors like Steven Spielberg across 5 different films, and being honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, one man managed to reduce this Hollywood heavyweight to a fanboy. Picture this, a sophisticated New York restaurant in the 1990s. The clinking of glasses, the murmur of conversation, the unmistakable energy of Manhattan. Tom Hanks is dining, likely unaware that he's about to experience what he would later describe as his most starstruck moment. Now consider the context. Hanks was at the absolute peak of his career during this era. He was about to become only the 2nd actor in history to win back-to-back Best Actor Oscars for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. This man had just portrayed a lawyer battling AIDS discrimination and an Alabama simpleton who changed history, roles that earned him the highest critical acclaim. Yet in this New York restaurant, none of that mattered, because across the room sat perfection in pinstripes, the Yankee Clipper himself, Joe DiMaggio. Imagine Hank's perspective. There sat DiMaggio, not just a baseball player, but a cultural monument. The man who married Marilyn Monroe, whose 56 game-hitting record stood for decades, the living embodiment of American excellence. In interviews, Hanks has described the visceral reaction he experienced. This wasn't just recognizing a celebrity, this was being in the presence of history, of legend. The man who regularly earns $20 million per film suddenly felt like that kid selling popcorn at the Oakland Coliseum again. And then the moment of recognition. DiMaggio noticed Hanks, and in that split second, Hollywood's most beloved everyman completely forgot he was Tom Hanks. He later confessed he could barely form a coherent sentence, managing only to offer what he described as a starstruck nod, before DiMaggio nodded gracefully back. So why does this story resonate so powerfully? Because it reveals the beautiful hierarchy of admiration that exists even among icons. It shows us that no matter how successful we become, we all have our heroes. Think about Hank's own journey, from that shy, self-described geek and spaz in high school, to the intern at the Great Lakes Theater Festival who won the Cleveland Critics Circle Award, to the star we know today. His entire life prepared him to appreciate greatness when he saw it. This moment also highlights something fascinating about celebrity culture. There are different kinds of fame. There's Hollywood fame, and then there's legendary, transcends generations fame. DiMaggio represented something timeless, an excellence that existed long before Hanks' stardom and would endure long after. This wasn't Hanks' only brush with fandom, of course. He's known for being incredibly generous with his own fans. He'll often meet children who don't understand how he's Woody from Toy Story, and he makes them close their eyes so he can perform the voice for them. But the DiMaggio story stands apart because of what it represents, that no amount of Academy Awards, no box office records, no presidential honors can eclipse the pure, unadulterated awe we feel when in the presence of our personal heroes. So the next time you feel starstruck, remember Tom Hanks and Joe DiMaggio. Remember that admiration is the great equalizer, and that even Hollywood royalty still gets goosebumps in the presence of legend. What was your most starstruck moment? Share your stories in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this dive into Hollywood's most human moments, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next celebrity revelation. Until next time, remember, even the stars have stars they look up to. Thanks for watching.